everybody, and welcome to Fruitful Fridays this morning. I hope you're all doing well. I know I am. I'm excited about today. I am actually going to a seminar. So today we're going to talk about how you were fruitful, and we're going to be talking about excuses. So it's a great topic, no excuses, and stay tuned. You're going to love what you hear. This is going to be a little bit shorter. I'm actually going to work on getting these a little bit shorter. But today, so it should be about 15 minutes, but we shall see. Okay, so how were you fruitful this week? What did you do that you felt really good about you, about what you accomplished, about how you helped somebody, or what project you did? And it could be personally, business, whatever it is. Reflect on that, feel grateful, and the more you have that feeling of gratefulness, the more you're going to get of that. And write it down. Write it down so you know how much you accomplished, because we always accomplish way more than we think we do. All right, with that, before we get into excuses, for those who don't know me, I'm Karen Treaster. And my company is Never Settle Life Coaching. I work with people in transition, and I also work with divorced women to get whole and thrive. I'm a mindset coach, and getting in the right mindset is what it's all about for anything you do. And getting in the right mindset for no excuses. So let's get into that. And this is actually going to be based on Excuses Be Gone. And that's a book I'm going to show you. It's probably backwards. If it is, I apologize for that, but there it is. And by Wayne Dyer. So a lot of you know him, and he's deceased right now, but he was a spiritual leader, and he's written many, many books. And he's got 7 principles we're going to go over and that you can consider. And I know for me, anything I can get to be excuse-free is going to be awesome. So are you noticing that you're creating excuses for your limitations that you have? And that's kind of the first thing. Are you noticing that just these excuses are really holding you back? And do you not do something because of the possible consequence you could be feeling? And even though you don't know what the outcome is, you still have that feeling. And it could be, for instance, maybe you need to make a phone call, or maybe it's just something you've got to get started. However, you come up with all these things. Good morning, Ann. Thank you for the hearts. I hope you're doing well this morning. And it could be, it is that feeling, and that holds us back. I mean, I know it's held me back. So these principles are going to really help you to look at the situation and to really move forward. And because let's face it, we all don't want to be placed in an uncomfortable situation, right? When we're thinking of that thing that we have to do, or maybe we're thinking of any kind of criticism, or maybe it's something that you've gotten in the past, and you think that, well, maybe this is going to happen again, or just perceived humiliation. And then what happens is we just kind of fall into our old habits and our old patterns. So by the old patterns, let me go over a few, and he discusses this in the book. And okay, so it's too difficult. I know I've certainly said that before, and it will take too long. There's going to be family drama. It's not my nature. These are all excuses that we come up with. I can't afford it. Nobody helped me, right? I didn't get it done. I've done that before because nobody helped me. I'm not a smart person. I'm not strong enough. I'm not good enough. I'm too old. I'm too busy. And you know what? We've all got these excuses. So what if none of these were really an obstacle? What if they weren't an obstacle? And how would you feel then to have completed whatever it is that you wanted to do? And how good will you feel when you do the thing that is actually holding you back? So one thing that he talks about in the book is that you can turn these questions or these obstacles that you have around, and you can use affirmations. And so let's just take a couple of those, and let me give you some examples. So it will be difficult, and this is his affirmation for that. I have the ability to accomplish any task I set my mind to do with ease and comfort. And what about no one's going to help me? There's no one to help me. How about this affirmation, saying this? And when you repeat them, it really works. The right circumstances and the right people are already here and will show up on time. And what about excuse me, when you say, I can't afford it? What about saying, I am connected to an unlimited source of abundance? I am unlimited. Let me repeat that. I am connected to an unlimited source of abundance. So the first principle he talks about is awareness, and just breaking these old habits, these old ways, these old patterns of thinking that are really impediments in your life. And again, if you don't like to take risks, you know what? You normally will choose a path that's going to put you puts up these mental barriers, which are these excuses, and it really does hold us back. And I know it's been huge for me. And these principles, I love this book because he goes into so much detail. I'm just giving you little snippets of it. So if you like this, you know, check it out. But so you can develop your mind. You want to do this so you can develop your mind that stays open to more possibilities. And that's the thing. We can all do more. And it's just being aware of what's out there, aware of those possibilities, and and this is really the first step. And then you can also notice that negative chatter that's in your brain. And then you're able to discover you have the ability to overcome these long established habits that you have, and that's just really been blinding you. And he also says that your primary relationship needs to be 100% your authentic self. And being aware and figuring out, I've talked about this a lot, your authentic self, that's where the truth is. And that's where you're going to know that these are just excuses. And a lot of times I think we know that. However, we just, we let them get the better of us. So, okay, the first principle is awareness. And the second one is alignment. And when you're aligned with your truth, like I was just talking about, and you're following it, you're in harmony with the universe, with God, whatever you want to call it. And when you're in this state, notice your thoughts, and kind of by adjusting those, and implementing a different way of thinking, it's going to replace that old habit. You can use those affirmations in this thought process. And by doing this continually with the affirmations, or just acknowledging what you're feeling and looking at this new way, you'll keep changing your thinking, and you will be able to do most anything. So alignment is huge, and that's number two. And then number three principle is now. So I talk about this a lot, being in the present, being in the now. So live for the moment, forget the past, don't worry about the future, just live right now, think about what has to be done, and live as if there is only today, as if there's only today. And in the now is where you're going to find this peace, because your job is going to be to do whatever you have to do right now. And there is a peace about it, because then you're not getting anxious thinking about the future. You're not getting depressed or upset or angry thinking about the past. So a couple different ways: meditation and yoga are a great way to get into this state of mind, to give you this peace. And you can just sit quietly, and just bring yourself back to the present moment, back to now. And it will help you to overcome these excuses. So that's number three, now, in the now. And number four, and I love this. This is contemplation. And here's what he says: every discovery of something new involves the crucial concept of contemplation. And you can create the life you desire by creating what you wish for, what you attract for, what you attract. And once you master the ideas around the concept that you won't, around this concept that you're mastering, this, you won't want to use your mind for anything else. You won't want to use your mind for the purpose of excuses when you are doing your truth, when you're doing what you want. And this is what happens in the state of contemplation. Instead, you know what, you're really going to consider what you want to manifest, and then you're able to visualize it. So practice viewing contemplation as an action step, and this is what he says, as an action, rather than just a meandering thought. And I know we sometimes think that it's a waste of time. It isn't a waste of time. So this is treasure your mind as a gift from the Creator. And your mind has the answers. You have all the answers. They're all inside you. And so contemplation is huge. And that is the number four. That's the number four principle he talks about. And number five is willingness. And we don't always want to undertake the necessary steps to create the life that we desire, right? I have a lot of that. People come to me, clients, and once they find out what they, when they talk about what they have to do, although people aren't willing to do what you need to do. And ask yourself, am I willing to take the responsibility for all the conditions of my life? Because it is your responsibility. And examine how you blame others for where you are. Oh yeah, that's easy to do, right? And you know what? We say this person never helped me, or this person didn't, or this person put me in a negative state of mind, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it can go on and on and on. And I know I could blame my ex-husband, I could blame my family, I could blame, other people that weren't there for me. You know what? It's me. And that's what I love about right now. It's me taking responsibility, no excuses, and moving forward. And so number six, and willingness was number five. Number six is passion. And passion always outweighs excuses. When you have passion, when you know what you want to do, And and what he talks about, let me give you his definition of passion, is he's speaking of a vigorous, kind of enthusiasm that you feel deep within you. And it really can't be explained. You have this feeling, and it's just, you get this drive when you're aligned and you have all these things going for you. Excuses just don't come up. It's like, okay, you're excited, you're going to do what you need to do. And it seems to just motivate you, and you just overcome them. You overcome these excuses. And giving is another way, and he talks about that a lot. Giving is a great passion, and it really opens up you to receive more. So giving is always a good thing, and that kind of helps you to find that passion, those passions of yours as well. So that's number 6 is passion. So number 7, this is the last one, is compassion. And what he says is it's impossible to need excuses when the focus of life shifts to, how may I serve you? And again, giving. How may I serve you? Take it off of yourself. Think of other people. And thinking of others and reaching out to them, despite the inconvenience, because let's face it, it's not always convenient. And this causes you to feel joy. And I know everybody's felt that before. So the more you can serve people, the more joy you're going to feel. And this is what we all want. And really, this joy is a gift from God, or the universe, or whatever you believe in. And when we have this joy, we can accomplish most anything. Most anything. Joy is where it all, I think it's all what we're all aspiring for. And peace, having peace of mind. And so compassion is the 7th principle. So these are all 7 in a nutshell, because he goes into so much depth and more in his book of Excuses Be Gone. And again, when you are able to ward off these excuses and be able to accomplish what you want, it's an amazing feeling. It really is. So no excuses. You know what? The time is now. And because when I come up with excuses, what happens with excuses? We procrastinate, right? I'm a huge procrastinator. And this is something that's taken a long time for me to get over. But these principles, check them out and get over whatever it is that's holding you back. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about me, I actually hold people accountable. And that's part of my coaching program. I also have a program on my website. It's called neversettlelifecoaching.com. And so give me some, I'd love the hearts and likes if you're listening on the replay. And I hope you take this to heart, take that responsibility, no more excuses, and figure out what you're doing, what your next step is. And again, if you need accountability, let me know. And I hope you all have a phenomenal Friday. I hope you have a very, very, very wonderful weekend. I'm off to a seminar in Fort Lauderdale. I'm excited about. I've been there for the last 3 days, and I'm excited about moving up and just moving my game up. So go for it. Never settle. Do it now. And I will see you next Friday for more tips and inspiration Have an awesome day. Bye bye, everyone.